Joining us now is Arizona Republic's politics reporter Laura Gersoni. The Republic had extensive coverage of the memorial, as you'd expect. Laura, thanks for being here. First impressions from the team who covered the memorial. What are you hearing from them?
I think our first impressions are this was an event with an incredible amount of energy. I mean, we have been covering massive political events in Arizona over the past couple years. This was the first time that I personally had seen one of our stadiums packed to the brim. Scarce available seats. You know, the last political rally I covered, Trump came to town, also to Glendale, and people were somewhat interested, got maybe a little bored by the end. People started to trickle out. But what my team saw on the ground today was absolutely rapt attention through some of the remarks that you've summarized. Just an incredible amount of energy. I think the word on everyone's lips was revival.
Laura, we were commenting that we hadn't seen Elon Musk and Donald Trump together in quite some time after their rift. Any more information about what they talked about or why he decided to attend?
None that I've seen. I hope we'll learn more in the coming days and weeks. What stood out to me about that moment is that it symbolized a moment of unity for the party. I think Donald Trump is someone who has been able to rally his party around him and maintain an incredible amount of unity during an administration when he's pursuing some controversial agenda items. But I would say this just cemented. If there was any daylight within the MAGA movement, this got rid of it. Trump said during his remarks that Elon Musk approached him just to say hello and that they had, excuse me, a good relationship. And I think we've seen similar sentiments on the ground in Arizona, in the Republican Party, expressing a desire for unity, expressing a desire to continue the legacy that Charlie Kirk left. So just it seems like there's a momentum that this has generated that I would expect to propel the party over the next few months and even into the 2026 midterms.
I'm sorry. You think there's a message of unity from the Republican Party coming out of this? I must have
Certainly
misheard
within
you.
certainly within its ranks, I would say. I think that's a fair point. Like you all pointed
Well, hang
out.
on. I mean, you've got the president talking about hate and retribution against his critics, and every single politician that sat before the mics prior to this service talked about there was only violence on the political left and demonization. And I hadn't heard a single word about unity until yesterday. Is that what you've been hearing?
No, I think that's a great point. I think certainly across the aisle, absolutely not. Donald Trump, like you said, that quote, "I hate my opponent and I don't want them to win." I mean, certainly not a message bringing the party together. I guess what I've been noticing in Arizona is that conservatives have really been rallying around Charlie Kirk's calls. Certainly, he was a controversial figure, as we've discussed before, but I think some of that controversy has given way to a sort of rally around the flag effect, and we've seen energy building within conservative ranks to sort of unite behind Donald Trump and behind the party at a time when some of his actions have been divisive.
I noted that some observers said that this is a moment where we saw the highest levels of government and evangelical worship woven as one and the same at such a grand scale. I counted, President Trump said the word God 16 times in his speech. Was there any, notice given to how much emphasis was placed on religion among our political leaders?
Yeah, I think you have it exactly right. I think this shows just how much the conservative Christianity has melded with today's Republican Party. A couple things that stood out to me on that, Stephen Miller, Trump's immigration chief, talking about forces of wickedness. Something else we saw was Trump teasing an announcement on autism. That's one of the most hot button topics available in the news today because of the way that his administration has sort of suggested there might be a link to vaccines flying in the face of scientific consensus. So I think this was, yeah, certainly an event that did not shy away from religion, did not shy away from politics, and leaned into those, quite controversial themes, did not shy away from them, even though this was ultimately a memorial service.
And that's what's hard to kind of wrap your brain around. The fact that this was a memorial service, and let's just say it was also a political rally. It would be interesting to hear the behind the scenes minutia of how did this come to be and how was this orchestrated and what was the conversation like with Erika Kirk about this is what we're going to turn the memorial service into, because I'm sure this was a very well orchestrated event. Have you heard anything about, literally what was the MO going into this?
Right. What I would say on that is that this certainly the degree of the calls that we saw, the degree of sort of the controversy and the political fervor did stand out to me as new. I had not seen it to this degree in the vigils and memorials remembering Charlie Kirk so far, but it was foreshadowed, I would say, by some of the past vigils. I covered an event at the Kennedy Center in Washington D.C. last weekend where we had Carrie Lake, another Arizona figure with a position in the Trump administration, saying that mothers should not send their kids to college, that this is a place they might be radicalized, sort of suggesting that that might be what happened to the shooter. So that was a hugely controversial idea. So certainly this was maybe it reached a new fever pitch at the memorial service yesterday, but it was not altogether new.
Laura Grissoni from the Arizona Republic, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate your coverage.